I'm currently on my and things that have helped me out, and I'll show you what my setup is. So, I already have the golden tree unlocked. Now, first thing I want to talk about is your quartz. Okay, you get 6 phases. Okay, let me actually go in here and turn down this music. Alright, so for right now, this is kind of my general setup. Now, granted, you're not going to get all of these your first run. This is going to be as like a multiple playthrough kind of thing to unlock all of these. But this is what my setup is. So for phase 1, I have everything unlocked. Okay. Phase 2, I'm currently working on. I have my increased pulse cells. Now, pulse cells, what they do is they help give you health. Okay. Now, what this will end up doing is, as it says, increases the maximum number of pulse cells you can use. Okay. And then another thing that would help me out a lot was the added amulet slots. So on the first run, you only start off full to carry more amulets. However, they do increase your weight. Okay. Now in phase 3 here, same thing. So this one is enhanced pulse cell recovery. So that means this, if you unlock this, it increases the amount of health you get every time you use a pulse cell. Okay. This one is your added belt slots, and this is the second upgrade for added amulet slots. So I believe you can hold a total of 4, if I'm correct. Yeah, a total of 4. Actually, no. Yeah, 4. There's only 4. Okay. Now I'm currently working on this one a little bit more, and then the next one I have is the add Legion arm slots. So this allows you to have 2 Legion arms. Now, however, when you use one arm, you lose that Legion for both arms. Is what sucks, but it's understandable. It's like, how are you going to use one arm, have everything good on the rip, and then use the second arm and be full? No, so no matter what arm you use, it decreases your Legion. And right now, I'm currently working on phase 6. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm currently working on my last enhanced pulse cell recovery. Now, as you can see, through each phase, it takes a certain number of things to get that upgrade. So between phase 6 and 5, you need 4. Phase 4, you need 3. Phase 3, you need 3. And then phase 2 and 1, you need 2. Okay? And I'm also going to go into depth what these are. Okay? So now if we go and look at it, I'm not going to put anything here yet. So each one of these is a different level of enhancement. These are your enhancements. Okay? So starting here at the top. So you got your basic level 1 enhancements. So you got your charge stagger, your fatal attack, fable arts, stagger duration. Phase 2, you have your enhanced weapon attacks, when durability is at maximum, weapons attacks, enhanced ambush, stagger, enhanced perfect guard. Sorry, there's dogs barking in the back. siblings just got home. Alright, so go into a little bit of an explanation behind each one of these. So these are your attack types. Now, as you can see, the check marks are the ones that I have acquired. So, going one by one. So, your enhanced charge stagger attack. So, what that is going to be doing is your stagger attack. So, basically, when the enemy falls down, it's more so like when you see the little 3 marks. What that is going to do is that is your stagger attack. So, when that happens, that's going to increase the amount of damage you do to them. It's more so going to be more effective when you're going up against bosses, because you can really have an idea how much damage you're actually doing. And then staggered duration. So basically, there's a short window of how long your enemy is going to stay staggered. Okay. Now you can increase this to increase that window, so you can either get more hits in before you do your stagger attack, or in case you need to heal up real quick and then do your attack. Alright, enhances weapon attack when durability is at maximum. So as you start hitting enemies, your durability goes down. Okay. Now when your durability is at maximum, it helps increase your weapon attack. And then okay. Now, your enhanced perfect guard. Okay. So when you do a perfect guard, it's gonna help increase the destruction damage to the enemies when perfect guard is successful. So basically what that means is when you perform a perfect guard, it's going to do an attack on the enemy. Alright, so enhanced condensed Legion arm attack. Enhances Legion arm attack when more than half of Legion arm remains. So that means, so say like if you get the flame arm, okay, and you hold it, it's gonna that attack increases. So your increased Fable Arts effect duration. So some of these weapons, when you go through, they have an electric buff, a decay buff, flame buff. Now, when you're doing your Fable Arts, sometimes it'll induce that buff onto your enemy. So it'll increase the duration that that enemy is taking damage from that buff. Enhancement number 2 for the perfect guard. Enhanced for the charge stagger attack. So as you go up in these levels, that enhancement goes up also. But it caps off after so much. So that's why it starts getting into like different ones. So you have lower your weapon durability, you have lowers natural recovery upon weapon attack. So this one is going to be this one's really good. So every enemy, they have that brief moment where they actually recover health if you don't keep hitting them. So good example is if you look off to the left, you see where you have your regular health and then you have that little bar right next to it. That, if an enemy doesn't take damage, that's how much health is going to come back over time. Okay. Now, it says reduces the amount of enemy's natural health HP recovery. So that means that bar shortens, so they only have a little bit of health they can recover. Okay. Here's another one I'm gonna go after. Enhances your attack when HP is at maximum. So the longer you stay at full HP, it also increases your attack. Now all of these will stack on top of how much damage you can actually do. So in this one, this is your survival type. Okay. So enhanced guard, regain, recovery. So what this will also do is every time you guard, your stamina goes down instead of your and some of your health. But it also gets to a point where your health won't start going down, but your stamina will until you get broken. So it essentially increases the window to where you can regain that back to go back into another guard. Enhances discharge pulse cells, charging upon fatal attack. So basically, as you perform a fatal attack, your pulse cells charge quicker. Lowers your damage when all your pulse cells are discharged. I'm actually going to go after this one too. So essentially what this one will do is if you used up all your pulse cells, you take less damage. Lower damage while you're dodging. So this is one of your pulse cells recoveries. Okay. Enhances the recovery effect of your pulse cells. What this will do is it's going to increase the amount of health you get back. Lowers guard regain. Lowers damage of charge attack and fable arts. So when you're doing a charge attack or using one of your fable arts, an enemy can still hit you, okay, while you're going through the motion. What this will do is it'll just decrease the damage that's done to you while you're doing that attack. Enhances attribute resistance. So as you go out through the game, there's going to be parts and areas where you will get a ailment. Okay? And what that means is, you can get decayed, you can get shocked, you can get disrupted, all that stuff. This is going to increase that resistance. And then special resistance, some of those ailments are special, like your decay, your shock, stuff like that. That's your special resistance. Increase pulse cells 3. This allows me to hold more pulse cells. Lowers damage when discharged number 2. Perfect guard regain recovery. Recovers some of the guard's regain as HP when a perfect guard is successful. So as it says is, like I was saying earlier, so when you're guarding, your stamina will go down. So now this is going to make it where if you perfect guard, you're going to gain back your HP. Automatically charge pulse cells when they're discharged. I'm going to go after that one too. Increase pulse cells to 4. And pulse cell resistance. Lower damage while dodging 2. Guard regain recovery 2. Pulse cells 5. Now this one I haven't gotten into yet. So enhances deflection recovery. Shortens the time you can't move after your weapon is deflected. So basically, if you're sitting there, like guarding, and then finally your weapon gets deflected, that's bad. That means your stamina's all the way down and everything. So when your enemy starts glowing red, that is their fury attack. This will lower the damage that you receive during that attack. And this is your increased pulse cells to 6, maximum number of uses. So right now I'm holding 9 of them, okay? So I'm actually going to go in here, so while this one's here, I'm going to get that one, and I'm going to go down here, let's see, which one was I looked at earlier? Not that one. Oh, and that's another thing, so as you use one section, you can't use another one in that area. So you have to choose something else. So I'm going to go down here, and let's do... I'm going to hold off on that section. Okay. So I'm going to go back down here. Now we're going to ability types. So your ability types is essentially your Legion arms, your staminas, your durabilities, your wish stones, stuff like that. So what I have selected so far is charge Legion when eliminating an enemy. So every time I kill an enemy, my Legion will go back up. And then I also have lowers charge attack, stamina consumption 1. Lowers the stamina consumption of charged attacks. So basically when you go for like a heavy hit, if you still hold that button for a little bit longer, charges it up some and gets a little bit more oomph behind it. Okay. Charge Fable when a perfect guard is successful. Increases weapon durability recovery speed. This is going to make or break you in later game. Because when you start getting the ailment of decay, it affects your health and it affects the durability of your weapon. Now, if the durability of your weapon goes all the way down, your weapon breaks and you can't use it. And what this will do is when you're using your grindstone, it speeds up that recovery. Now this is lower legion consumption when in crisis, and that means when your HP is low, it lowers the consumption of your legion itself, basically. This is another one that'll make or break you. Reduces stamina consumption from dash. So basically when you're dodging and you're running around and you run out of stamina, you are an open window to get hit. Lowers the weapon durability reduction of dodge attacks and dash attacks. Lower stamina consumption when discharged. Now this is another one that can also affect you. So as your weight increases, that can also have an adverse effect on your durability of your weapon. So the lighter you are, the better. This is for your wish stones, charge fable when reviving. So every time you die, that's your reviving. So you can charge your fable arts every time you get revived. Naturally recovers durability of inactive weapons. So basically, if you have two weapons, if you have one weapon that you've knocked down the durability to say half, okay, if you don't use it and you switch to your other weapon, it will naturally recover durability. That's just the increase of the charged legion, fatal attack, fable charger, lower legion consumption, special grindstone weapon durability. So basically, I don't have to worry about using my charge cells or anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Rising dodge. That basically means if you're laying on the ground, you can still dodge. You essentially just dodge out the way. Okay. Now your item types is essentially your carryables, your usables, basically all your consumptions. So you have Legion Magazine effect enhancement. So basically this increases the damage your Legion arm puts out. Now your Ergo, this is essentially your points or your currency in game. Now by increasing this, you can get more Ergo upon defeating each enemy. Okay. This is going to increase your throwable objects. This is going to increase your consumables like your flasks or your status ailment resistance, stuff like that. Increases your consumable effect. This also goes into, like I said, your status effect removers, things like that. Lower ergo upon loss. Lower ergo loss upon death. So every time you die, you actually lose a little bit of ergo each time. Enhanced Fable Catalyst enhances the effect of your Fable Catalyst. Reduces item prices. Oh my god, this is helping so much. Especially when I'm having to go in and buy a bunch of things. It reduces the prices. Enhancement number 2. Increase maximum gold fruit. I'm not going to necessarily worry about that one. That's as person basis. Increases the ergo you get when defeating an enemy. So I've gotten all the way to where I can hold most of my items. I can hold up to 6, and that's what comes into play here. So down in here is where I really want to get into. So like here, you have partially charge your Fable when using your pulse cells. Okay, so every time I use the pulse cell, my Fable is going to charge. And then down here, I have my final increased ergo upon eliminating an enemy. So a lot of my bigger enemies now, I get around 2,000 ergo. So I can really, farm and rack up those ergo points, level up quicker, all those fun things. Increase throwing object possession limit to 3. I really need to get that. Alright. So that's rising dodge. Alright, now I'm going to go into a little bit more of what the phases themselves are also. Okay? So here for phase 1, you have link dodge. It allows you to dodge twice in the middle of you already dodging. Okay? Increase your pulse cells 1. Increase the maximum number of the pulse cell uses. How many times you can use your pulse cell. The blue line is your Fable slots. That is your Fable art. This is your staggerable window. This is how you're going to increase how long that enemy stays staggered for. Retain guard regain. That's that little red line after your health. Okay. Retains a certain amount of guard regain when receiving damage. Rise and dodge. When you're on the floor from being knocked down, you can dodge out the way. Because some enemies, they will do a downward strike to hit you. Amulet slots. Increase your amulets. Increase pulse cells number 2. Increase the maximum number of pulse cell uses. This is for the golden tree. Shorten fruit bearing time. Because there's a timer on how long it takes for the tree to get to full 8 coins. Increase cube uses, number 1. Increase the maximum number of cube uses to where you can use more than 2 wish stones. Pulse cell recovery increases the amount of health you get back from each pulse cell use. Added belt slots allows me to carry more items. Increased amulet slots allows me to hold up to 4 amulets. Perfect guard causes stiffness, meaning if I perfect guard an enemy, they essentially just stiffen up. And it'll break the enemy's stance when the perfect guard is successful. So that allows me to get a few hits in. It'd be great. Increases number of Fable slots for phase 4. Increases special grindstone uses. So you have a lot of special grindstones. You have fire, electric, and decay. Those are your main 3 grindstones that you have that you can use. And it's going to increase the effect it has on your weapon so that it stays on your weapon for longer. But what this one is going to do is you can use it more than once. So on your regular grindstone itself, as you go throughout the game, you'll get a special attachment for it from Venini. And that is your special grindstone. And this is going to allow you to use it more than once. Because if you don't increase it, you're going to use it one time, but you'll have to go back to the Stargazer for it to be reused, for you to be able to reuse it again. That's the only time it comes back. Because once you use it once, it breaks. This changes that. Add Legion arm slots, allows me to hold up to 2 arms. Increases staggerable window. Increases number of cube uses. Increases guard regain for phase 5. And down here in phase 6 is what I'm really working towards. Add weapon slots. This will allow me to hold a 3rd weapon. Now be mindful, that's going to increase my weight. So I'm not so sure if I actually want this one. This one, perfect guard, weapon durability recovery. Some of weapon durability is restored when a perfect guard is successful. So what this will end up doing is every time perfect guard, I get durability back. It's going to help me out a lot. Add number of belt slots. Allows me to hold more items. And this is the final Enhanced Pulse Cell Recovery 3. So, as I said, so all your little enhanced stack on top of what you have for that upgrade. So because I already have a lot of pulse cells enhancements, that's going to stack up on top of the pulse cell recovery for the amount of health I get back. So that's just going to help me out a lot. Now, I hope this has helped y'all out a little bit. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. It's a person-to-person basis because everyone plays this game differently. So, like I said, this has helped you out. Cool. I hope this makes it a little bit easier for you, especially if you came across a boss that's been really kicking your butt. So, until next time, thanks a lot, guys.